Welcome to Pay-to-Play Impressions for Killer Instinct. This game is available on PC and Xbox One. I'm playing it on Xbox One X because I have it installed here. But it's possible to play it on PC, and both of them versions are available on Xbox Game Pass. So let's go into the single player. This is Definitive Edition, which means that I got all the content of the game. But if you get the free version of the game, which is also possible, you're gonna have a rotating line of fighters available to you. So what this game is, well, it's a fighting game. It's a fighting game with an excellent tutorial section to it. So if you look here, you have a 16 tutorial lessons for the basic stuff, and then you have 16 more for the advanced stuff. As you can notice that I did not complete the basic tutorials. There is a reason why I did not do so, because I hit a wall at 16th lessons. Besides that, lessons, you have also ability to practice, you have ability to practice combo breakers and so on. So what is the game about? Well, the game is a fighting game that has a kind of a story, but it's more of a flavor here. The Season 3 content called Shadow Lords is the one that has the most of, I would say, the story in it. So here you have your own team, and you kind of get to have a bit more of a tactical approach to the whole gameplay, because you get to choose who you're gonna fight. You can choose your enemies, and based on which enemies you're gonna fight, you're gonna get certain rewards. And based on those rewards, you'll be able to use those rewards to grant your team special abilities that they can use during the fight. So from that perspective, it's kind of a more tactical, and it's also important for you to get all this kind of special abilities and get those rewards, because in the end, once you're gonna face the boss, the final boss, you want to have your characters at their best. Now, if you go back to the previous season contents, the season 1 and season 2, you're gonna get the story sections here. Season 2 has cinematics in it. The season 3 Shadow Lords also has cinematics, but in the season 2 has it's kind of just cinematics and not much there into the story. Season 1 doesn't have much of a cinematics at all. So I'm just gonna go here and just gonna pick a fighter, and we're just gonna go ahead and kind of play with that and see how it goes. I can see I didn't progress that far. I'm gonna play on a lower difficulty because, well, the reason for it is that I hit a wall at hard difficulty. I can play on the medium difficulty, no problems, but depending on the difficulty, actually, if you need to play at certain difficulties to get certain endings, and then you also need to do certain things. As you can see, you need to complete a certain ways the story in order for you to get certain endings. Okay, well, let's get this going. Alright. So, as you can see, visually the game is good. Its characters are clearly animated. The game runs well enough, although I believe it runs at 720p, because that's what my capture device tells me the game runs at. Also, as you play the game, you will be progressing, and as a result of that, the characters you play, the fighters you play with, and your profile will be upgrading. You see, there's different levels, and as a result, you'll be able to get certain cosmetic items for yourself. Now, let's talk about the actual, controller settings here, and I think that's very important. I should actually jump into and do so. But let's look at the actual character introductions, which are also pretty nice. Well, you can also get to see them in all the fighting games, but it's all very well nice down here also. Right. So let's look at the control. I was saying, like, here's the control settings, so you can modify all this stuff. But you guys can see also I have combo assist enabled. I'm going to talk about that. The game really is all about doing combos, or about chaining them, and I found that the only way I can really properly chain so is that I need to if I only able to chain the combos is only if I have combo assist. I'm not unable to do so really well without the actual combo assist. Right, and so to me, there's also the combo breakers you saw happening. So that's where I hit the wall. the goal is for me it was to properly do all the timings and actually to execute the moves certain moves because I found that on a controller I'm just not doing well enough movements to for the game to pick up. So I might be thinking that I'm pressing the stick to go forward, but in reality the game will say like, oh no, it's actually more diagonal, so therefore it's different, right? So the move did not register and so on. I had that problem with the tutorial, and well, in the actual gameplay, it's the whole thing is further upgraded, and you feel that there's also more of a problem there for yourself. So I believe that having actually one of those fighting games controllers would actually be even better. I think some of the problems that I might be having would be removed if I had that kind of a controller available. Now, so what else there to do besides the actual story content? Well, like I said, there's 3 seasons of story content you can explore. There's also multiplayer. And I was able to get into a multiplayer match with a person with similar skill to mine. I got defeated the first time around, but then I went in and it was for a rematch, and I beat him the second time around. So it's possible to do that. And actually, the progressions idea of levels and all the stuff holds through the multiplayer as well. So you can get all the cosmetics through the multiplayer while playing multiplayer as well. So it's all possible. So, from my understanding is that this is a game which is pretty much meant for multiplayer. So if you're into fighting games and you got that good enough control ability to move with the controller fast enough, time the attacks, I think you really would enjoy this. And you find yourself that going into multiplayer it might be something that you want to do. And this is where you're gonna find it to be most enjoyable to play the game. Right, and so overall, what my impression of the game? Well, due to the different fighters and different attacks and techniques that you need to use, all the complicated stuff of it, I would say this is a very good game. It doesn't have any significant narrative in it, but I don't think it's really needs this game needs really narrative in it. I think it's fine as such as it is. Right, and also because of all the characters, also because of different moves, and when it comes to turret characters, you can actually play as a dinosaur with mechanical implants. You can play as a werewolf. You can play as a guy that looks like a mummy. It's all that elements I would say make this game a Sub-Zero cool game. Well, now I'm just gonna go ahead and see if. Come on, I'm just gonna have to. I wanna just finish off this guy. And I couldn't do the combo breaker properly. And there you go. We finished up this guy. And so, well, this is all I wanted to say about this game. Thank you for watching, for listening, and if you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and please follow and subscribe.